Hey, it's Ross Jeffries, and I'm here once again with another Answers to Students module for February 2009. This one's for Tom W. Now, Tom W. is really participating in this coaching program. He's there for the office hours. He calls in on the twice-a-month coaching calls. He submits his questions for these modules, and I really want to encourage you guys, take advantage of this program. It's here for you. Tom's question, fundamentally, if I can sum up this long post in question, is about sarging women in front of other guys. He wants to know how to handle it. What happens if he gets interrupted by other guys? What happens if women interrupt him? And he really needs to handle the situation of being around other people when he's doing the sarging. So he's looking for answers to that. I want to talk about a basic principle here. Whenever someone asks me about a specific situation or problem or challenge, I try to bring it down to basics, to broaden it and look at some basic concepts. And this is the progress paradox. And I've said this before. This is one reason why having a good coach or a great coach or the best coach is really important. And it's this. When you begin to progress in an area of life that's really been challenging, very difficult, you're going to get more frustrated for a while. Now, the reason is very simple. The reason is you're going to be able to get into situations that before you couldn't even get anywhere close to. If you've never been able to walk before and suddenly you can get out of your wheelchair and walk, now you have to deal with keeping your balance, you have to deal with stubbing your toe, finding the right kind of shoes. So remember, sometimes when you're making progress, paradoxically, you may feel even more frustrated because you're finding yourself in situations, but you don't quite have all the skills yet to fully make those situations unfold in the way you want them to. I think that's what's going on with Tom, who's made some significant, even massive progress. One of my other rules in dealing with people's behavior is if you can't stop it, utilize it. Some people like to use the phrase, if you can't beat them, join them. I don't like the notion of beating people or joining them. But I do like the notion of saying if you can't stop it, utilize it. So first of all, is it really an interruption that you're getting, Tom? Well, maybe it's only an interruption if you don't know what to do with it. As I said over and over and over, I seldom take a woman's first response as written in stone. It's usually only a reflection of what she's thinking, feeling, or believing in that moment, or indeed a response to the context that you happen to be in. And it's almost always subject to change. Remember some of my other rules. Anything that people give me is just a toy for me to play with. Anything that people give me is just information that I can use. Anything that people give me is just energy that I can redirect. So is it really interruption or is it unexpected participation? I'll say that again. Is it interruption or is it unexpected participation? And by unexpected, I mean it could be either because it's from people who you don't want to participate in anyway, you want them to shut up, or it's the kind of participation that at the moment you don't find useful. Does that make sense? So there's a couple things. First of all, I want to suggest that when you go into a social setting, you don't think in terms of sarging, unless you want to think in terms of sarging the room. What I mean by that is you want to make friends with everyone there. The first half hour to hour, you're not going to sarge any woman. You're going to spend that time being friendly and making friends with the room. And fundamentally, though, in these situations where it gets really aggressive, or it can appear to be aggressive, I leave it up to the woman. I've very rarely been in this circumstance, almost never. I can count it on one hand, if that. I'm talking 20 years of doing this. And I would leave it up to the woman. Just look at her and say something along these lines. You don't have to get it exact. You can say, but you obviously get to choose who you'd like to keep talking to. See the self point? I'll be over there if it's me. See the head nod? And just walk off. The other possibility is something like that. To say, you know what? Maybe he's the perfect guy for you. I think you two should talk, enjoy each other, and then walk away. Or you can add in this, I think you two could be the perfect couple. I think you two should talk. It looks like you're perfect for each other. But I'll be over there if that's not the case. See what I mean? Throw in that little suggestion. The point I want to make here with women is if they're really enjoying what's going on, she's going to be the one to discourage interruptions. Whether that interruption comes from a competing guy or it comes from one of her girlfriends. I've seen this happen. They'll go, no, they'll try to pull her away from me, and she'll say, I'm fine. I'm fine. like, go away, I'm really enjoying this guy. If you built sufficient interest and connection, and her investment in what's going on, she will discourage those interruptions, and you really won't have to worry. Some other options are just, when you see it happening, very gently take her by the arm and say, let's go where we can talk more quietly. Then walk away from the guys, either walk into another part of that location or leave the location. If you walk away and take her to another part and she eagerly goes with you, it's very unlikely that they're going to follow you and interrupt you when you walk away from them, because then that makes them look like an incredible stalking a-hole. So utilize that. That's what I would say. But the real thing I want you to get, Tom, is to look and see how you're making tremendous progress. Look at your progress. Give yourself credit for the fact that you're now finding yourself in situations that you couldn't even get to before.